Burgundy podcast, a Washington football podcast by fans for fans. With your hosts, Jesse Martin.
You want to play what? Okay. Say hello to my little friend.
John Taylor.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
And Keith Gray.
The King, your Majesty.
And now here's your host, John Taylor.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. It is Jesse Martin as your host because John is not here, and I'm wondering if the internet is fucking up once again because it was kind of skipping during our little countdown. Joining me today is our buddy from across the pond, Scott Hartley. Scott, how you doing, bud?
Yeah, I'm great. Thanks again for having me on. It's becoming a bit of a regular thing, this, but yeah, I'm looking forward to doing our pick show.
Yeah, maybe we'll start paying you a salary.
Not at all. I don't need that.
Yeah, was the countdown skipping for you too, or is that just me?
A little bit, yeah, it did a little bit, but it's fine. It's fine. We seem to be live and going okay, so yeah.
Well, this is our Saturday NFL picks. We're sponsored by BetUS. Go to BetUS and get a 125% on your deposit, on your initial deposit, and come lose some money with us. How about that? So we're going to start off first game of the Sunday. Well, first let's talk about the Thursday night game a little bit. The Broncos and the Colts. What a shit fest game that was.
Terrible game. But they don't half know how to pick them. Amazon. They pay all this money to get the NFL right, so they've got what could be two of the most boring games on both Thursdays.
Yeah,
I'm hoping it's not for our sake because we're up next. But yeah, God, that was a bit of a game. I didn't stay up live to watch that one. No way. I think that was a 1:15 kickoff our time, so there was no way I was watching that. I did catch the highlights afterwards, and it looked an absolute bore fest.
Yeah, I lost a little bit of money on that game. I figured I'd wake up and have a little chunk of change in the purse, but it just did not work like that. You know, the NFL's been really weird this season. There's been some games where, I was absolutely 100% positive that the Broncos were going to pull this game out. Don't believe in the Colts. Still don't believe in the Colts. But it is what it is. So let's talk about our first game. Once again, the NFL is in London at the Tottenham Hotspurs Stadium in our friend Andy's neck of the woods. And the New York Giants are playing against the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers are a 9-point favorite in this game. Does 9 seem a little excessive for you, being that the Giants are 3-1?
No, not for me at all. I think Green Bay are the last team of the 32 to come across this side of the pond and complete the cycle. A couple of the guys from our Commanders UK chat and some of the guys you met across, Tony, Pete, they're going to the game. I think Alid's going to the game as well. So it'll be interesting. There'll be quite a few Commanders fans out, as always, going to this one. I don't think 9's too excessive. I think anytime we've got Aaron Rodgers under centre, I think, yeah, they've got a really good shot and a good chance at that. And for me on this one, I would put down 150 of our mythical dollars on Green Bay, and I will take the points as well, Jesse.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Green Bay. I think I would stay away from this game. I think the point total is a little, just not sure, especially when you're playing these games out of country. Doing a lot of traveling, you just don't know how, some of these players are going to feel waking up on essentially, playing a game at 9:00 in the morning, their time. So to me, I like I said, I would lean Green Bay, but I would probably stay away from this game just because of funky things can happen across the pond, if you know what I mean.
For anyone who hasn't done this journey and gone transatlantic and come to the UK or vice versa, it's a real thing. You know this. Yeah. Me and Andy Burrows woke up at 4 a.m. like, it's 10 o'clock in our morning. Our time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's wild. It does happen. So I can understand your thoughts there as to why you would think funky things can go on when you're on different time zones.
Yeah, definitely. Moving
What's
on.
it like watching? What's it like watching early morning football though at breakfast time?
It's like the breakfast of champions, man. I love these games that, because you have literally all day football, from you wake up, you get your morning coffee, you take the dogs out, then by then, it's Sunday morning, it's 9:30 in the morning. There's already a game on. Shit, you got football all day long, from 9:30 in the morning until 11:30 at night, pretty much. So it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. All right. Our next matchup is Seattle Seahawks, the surprising Seattle Seahawks. And, for a Geno Smith-led team, the Seahawks are playing better than I thought they would. And this point spread actually really surprises me. The Seahawks are +5 going against the New Orleans Saints. And I got to tell you, Scott, that I'm all over this Seattle +5. I'd take the Seattle money line. I think they're going to win outright. What about you?
Yeah, I've got a Seattle win here, but I think New Orleans were unlucky, very, very unlucky to take it to overtime with the double doink last weekend. I think it's one of these where Geno's played well for the last few weeks, and I think New Orleans don't have. I don't even know who they're putting at quarterback. Jameis is still out. I don't know if they're starting with Andy Dalton. I'm not sure, or Taysom Hill. I don't know what's happening there. So for me, I'd lean towards Seattle, but again, I'm staying away from this game.
Yeah. To me, I'm going to put 500 of our mythical dollars on this game. That's how sure I am of this game. I am not a Saints believer whatsoever, and I'm looking up the injury report right now if I can find it. So just bear with me just a few minutes, chaps. Let's see. You got Alvin Kamara still questionable. Michael Thomas is out. Jarvis Landry is questionable, and Jameis Winston is doubtful. So you're telling us, even without Alvin Kamara, we're still hurting with those ribs. You have your best receiver out. You have your starting quarterback out, and you're still favored by 5 points? Get the hell out of here. Sorry, yeah. I don't think so. I'm putting 500 on the Seattle Seahawks for the outright win. Yes, they are playing in New Orleans, but I do not care. Seattle's going to come in there, and they're going to win. And I would even lean Seattle if they were favored by 5 points. I'd probably still lean Seattle. That's how much faith I have in the New Orleans Saints. I don't see it. I don't understand this point spread. That's me. That's me. All right, moving on. I was a little fired up about that game. I am.
Definitely.
That to me. I want to put some real money on that game.
Easy money there. Money there.
I'm going to put some real money on that game. All right, Houston Texans are a 7.5 point dog to the Jacksonville Jaguars. What do you think about this line right here?
I think it's about right, maybe a little high.
That's what I thought too.
But 5 points, I could say, I agree. But this is a Jacksonville win for me, purely at home. They still have been playing pretty decent in the last couple of weeks. I think they lost. In the end, they were quite competitive last week, or did they win last week? I can't remember which way round it was.
They won. Did they
not blow out the Colts?
Was that last week?
I don't know if it's that last week or the week before. I'm getting confused already. It's only week 5. I've got Jacksonville for the win here.
Jacksonville's going to win this game. There's no doubt about it. The question is, are they going to win by 7.5 points? And I don't think so. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than that. I'm going to stay away from this game, but I think if I had to lean somewhere, I would lean Houston plus the points. That's just me. That's just me. And the over-under is 43.5. I would actually take the over in this game. All right. Next on the docket is the Pittsburgh Steelers are a 14-point dog to the Buffalo Bills.
That's quite a high margin. That really high margin, 14.
Very high. But I would stay away from point spread. The money line for the Steelers is plus 635. But what I'm looking at here is the over-unders, and 45.5.
Yeah.
I think the Buffalo Bills could score that all on their own. I will take the over in this game, and I actually will probably put I'd put $50 on that, on the over.
So I've gone one-sided Bills win here. I mean, Kenny Pickett came in last week. His first pass through an interception, threw another one late on in the game. I got a one-sided Bills win here with a score of around about 30 to 7 in Bills' favor. What I did look at on this game is the Josh Allen stats on the player stats. Over 1.5 touchdown passes is equivalent in decimals for us of 1.53 for every dollar you put on. So for me, that's where I would go on this game, and I would put $200 on that. He's definitely going to throw touchdowns, but he's good at rushing as well. We saw that last week. He rushed touchdowns, but throwing over 1.5 against Pittsburgh in Buffalo, yeah, definitely.
No, I agree. All right, moving on to the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We have another high spread, and the Bucs are favored by 10.5. And I'll tell you what, I think I'd take the 10.5. I'd take those points. I think the Atlanta Falcons they're bad. They're a bad team. Brady is, he's not a spring chicken no more. I think we've seen that. You might see him take a little step back this year, but they still have weapons galore all over this team. And I'll take the Bucs plus the points. My phone it's frozen up, so I'm trying to see if there's an injury report. Oh, here we go. I'm sure Godwin, they're getting them back. Yeah, it looks like the only major injury for the Bucs is Akeem Nicks on the defensive line, and Logan Ryan out with a foot injury. But they got all their major offensive weapons back, so I think they're going to have a field day with the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, I agree. I've got Tampa Bay on the points here as well. That's exactly where I was going with this when I looked at it earlier.
All right, the Chicago Bears make the long trip to the Minnesota Vikings. 9 points. The Vikings are favored. I don't like this point spread, to be honest with you. And I'm going to take the Bears plus the points in this situation right here. This division, they play close. And don't be surprised if it's one of those games, one of these trap games for the Minnesota Vikings. They haven't been playing that great either. I know other places have this as a much lower point spread. I think CBS has it and they do the I think the William Hill Sportsbook line. They're at 7.5. So yeah, I'm going to take the Bears plus the points, and I'm going to put $100 on that.
Wow. Well, looking at this, I've gone with this is exactly as you thought. I thought this is a trap game. They were very close to win Minnesota last week in London. Still a long trip back. You don't know how people are going to be after playing abroad. But I took Minnesota for the win. I just think Justin Jefferson needs to get going. And that points, that's a bit high, 9. I think if you were around 7, I'd say, that's probably more realistic.
Yeah, I mean, I got Minnesota for the win too, but I'm taking Chicago in the points against the spread. I think it's going to be a lot closer than at least Bet US has. Miami travels to New York and faces the Jets. This is an interesting game right here. I would figure Miami be a little bit bigger of a favorite, but they're only favored by 3 points. What do you think about this game right here?
I actually think that's okay. I think that's about right. Because obviously Tua is not there. It's Teddy Bridgewater, isn't it, who will be the quarterback for the.
That's why. Okay, I forgot about that. That's
so obviously the concussion side of Tua, which, yeah, we could debate that all night about CTE and other bits and pieces, but we're not going to. I think 3 is about right. I've backed actually New York on this. New York on the points. That's where I've gone with this one. But I do think it's about a field goal game, this one.
You know, you got Tyreek Hill is battling a quadriceps injury. Jalen Waddle's got a groin injury. They're both questionable. Xavier Howard's questionable with a groin. Yeah, you know what? I like New York plus the points in this. I think I don't think they're gonna win, but I think they'll cover. I think it's gonna be a close game.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
The LA Chargers traveling to Cleveland playing the Browns. And this is to me an interesting spread. I think the Chargers are only favored by 1 point, and I think they're a lot better team than Cleveland Browns. I would boost this up. I'm actually going to I'll put money on it. I'm going to put $100 on the Chargers to go into Cleveland and just wipe the floor. I think Justin Herbert finally gets out of his little funk that he's going through and lights it up.
Yeah, great minds must think alike then, Jesse, because I put 100 on this as well, and I've gone with an LA Chargers win. I think Herbert, he looked okay last week. Obviously, he's been suffering with the ribs, so he needs to, as you say, get out of that funk. And yeah, I can't see Cleveland winning this. If they stick to the run game, maybe. They've got 2 really good backs that can run out in Hunt and Chubb, so we'll wait and see. But I don't think it's as tight as 1 point. That's a definite for me.
You know, Keenan Allen is out for this game, and maybe he doesn't have Herbert doesn't have all his weapons, but I still think there's enough there to get it going and have a pretty comfortable win.
And Eckler's going to do Eckler things, isn't it? That's what you've got to remember.
The Detroit Lions are facing the New England Patriots, and what happened to the Patriots this year, man? What's going on with them? They just don't seem to be a Bill Belichick-led team.
I think it's Bailey Zappi or Zapp. I don't know how you pronounce his name. I think he's going to be quarterbacking again because Mac Jones went through. I think he had a concussion again in the last game, and Zapp came in early quarter 1. And it'll be interesting to see what they do. I've got this very close, and I've squeaked a New England win just, but I'll stay away from this one. I mean, it could quite easily be a Lions win. We know the Lions have been overperforming from what we thought they were, and they're in every game. So it'll be a tight one. This will be, again, a field goal game, I think.
Yeah, the Detroit Lions are very banged up right now. DeAndre Swift is out. Roma St. Brown is questionable with an ankle. Josh Reynolds is questionable with an ankle. DJ Chark is out. So they are really beat up on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I didn't see the injury report at all, Jesse. So I mean, that's your 2 best backs and your wide receivers. That's not good.
Mac Jones, on the other side, Mac Jones is doubtful with the ankle injury. So chances are he's probably not going to see the field. This is a game that I would stay very, very far away from, but I'm going to shock the world and pick I'm going to stick with the Lions because I think they're going to come with a bunch of heart on this with this game and pull out the victory. But stay away from it. Stay far away from it. The San Francisco 49ers are traveling cross country to face the Carolina Panthers. And the Panthers, even at home, they're a 7-point underdog. Yeah, that's the Panthers are trash. I think Matt Rule's a trash coach. Baker Mayfield's a trash quarterback, and San Francisco is going to come into Carolina and just run the ball down their throats. Deebo Samuel's going to have a huge game, not only in the passing game but also in the running game, and Jimmy G will look like Tom Brady, and probably win this game by like 10 points.
Easy money here. This game is an absolute easy win for the 49ers. They could play this in Timbuktu and still win. It doesn't matter how far they're traveling. The Panthers are terrible. And Jimmy G, he doesn't look like since he's come back in for Trey Lance that he's even missed a beat. I mean, yeah, he stepped out the end zone. Easy mistake to make at times. But yeah, he'll come in and they'll light this one up. No problem at all.
I think Kyle Shanahan made a big mistake when drafting Trey Lance. I think the 49ers are a total different team with Jimmy Garoppolo, and just because he's a game manager. He manages the game. He's not going to wow you with anything that he does, but he can run this offense. And
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they just look a lot better with him under center.
They got to the NFC game, so to the NFC Championship game. You don't get there and become a poor team overnight. So
the Philadelphia Eagles are flying to Arizona and face the Cardinals. Cardinals are a 5.5 point underdog, and I'm going to take the Eagles plus the points in this matchup.
I've got Eagles plus the points in this. This is a Eagles win for me, but I think it's a heavily defensive game. They will get to Kyler Murray, who hasn't looked his MVP caliber self this year. So, yeah, Philly win and the points for me too.
Yeah,
Kyler Murray 100 on this.
Kyler Murray's been looking like he's spending a little bit too much time playing video games, if you want to be honest. So, the Dallas Cowboys are playing the Rams, and the Rams are favored by 5.5 points. I like the Rams in this game plus the points. I don't think Dak is back yet.
No, he's not.
I think the Rams are. Look, do they look like the team from last year? No, they don't. But it's still early in the season. The CeeDee Lamb has an injury. He's got a groin. Tony Pollard is sick. But the Rams are relatively healthy, and they're playing at home. Cooper Kupp's going to go off on this game, so I will take, and I'm going to put $50 on this game, and taking the Rams plus the points.
Rams plus the points for me. Stick me down for 50 as well. Dallas won't win this with a backup quarterback. That's for certainty. They're at home. The Rams. Stafford's still playing relatively well. I know he threw a few picks that were a bit daft last week, but they've got a really good side. And again, on the other side of the ball, defensively, they're a big, tough, strong defense. So, take the Rams here, definitely.
Yeah.
F them Cowboys.
The Sunday night game, the Baltimore Ravens are hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. And I'm actually excited about this game right here. I think this is going to be a really, really good game. The Ravens are favored by 3. 3 or 3.5, one of the two. Besides the point, 3.5. I think the Ravens are going to win, but I think this is going to be a very, very close game. I think it's going to be a field goal at the end, a Justin Tucker field goal at the end. So I will take the Bengals plus the points. But would jump on the I would jump on the over on this game as well. It's 47.5. I think this is going to be a high scoring game.
Yep, that's where I go. This is game of the week for me. 47.5 is what I looked at initially. And I thought, okay, yeah. So I would take the over on that. I've got a Ravens win here as well. They always seem to be in good games. Last week against the Bills, it was a squeaker. Again, this week, I think it's going to be exactly the same. Another squeaker. as you said, a touchdown late on in the fourth quarter, or a field goal here. I think the Ravens will win this by 7. Okay. I do.
Fair
but
enough.
it will still be tight until we get to the fourth quarter.
The Monday night matchup, and we got the Raiders versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are favored by 7.5 points, and I'm not sure if that's enough, because it does not seem to me the Raiders are doing jack shit this year with all the talent that they have. They're 1-3. They haven't, even with Devontae Adams coming to that team, they just haven't had the explosions that you would think. I don't know. I haven't really followed them closely this year, but it just doesn't seem like they have it. It was thought in the offseason, with the addition of a top wide receiver, that, they take that next step, and maybe it's just the opponents that they played, but it really, the talent that they have on the offense just hasn't shown yet.
Yeah, I think this team, the Raiders, are a year away. You've got to remember they're on a new coaching staff as well. There's a brand new staff that's come in there. Yes, they've got arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL, but you have to question Derek Carr as well at quarterback.
Yeah,
he's not necessarily getting it done. This is an easy Kansas City win for me. What I did look at here, easy money, is 2.5 TD passes for Mahomes anytime throughout the game. That's in our decimals again, because I can't work out your betting. $2.55 for every dollar that you stake. So if our mythical dollars are on the line, I'm putting 150 down on Mahomes. He's a magician, and he will get there. This is an easy win. Travis Kelce's starting to ball out again. This is an easy win for the Chiefs.
Yeah, no, agree. And the game of the week, our beloved Washington Commanders are hosting the Tennessee Tits. I abbreviate the opposing teams, the Titans. The Titans are only a 1-point favorite in this game.
That surprises me.
Yeah. I thought it would be like 3.5, but
yes.
I'm taking the Commanders money line. I think the Commanders are going to win this straight out.
Optimist says we have to get back on the wagon and get right. We've got 2 opportunities to get back to 3-3 here. I've gone with a Washington win, 17-23 final score for me.
17-23. And,
yeah,
that kind of lines up with the money line. I want to talk about this over-under is 43. I would definitely take the over in this game right here. Yeah, I think we're going to get back on track. Well, not necessarily back on track. I think we're going to get a much-needed win. The injury report for this game, the Titans defense is beat up. Bud Dupree's out. Amani Hooker's out. Zach Cunningham's out. These are all starters that for that defense. We have Jahan. Unfortunately, Dotson is out for this game with a hamstring. Logan Thomas is questionable. Percy Butler's out. David Mayo is questionable. And Cosme's out. So I still think, we, for our offense, at least, we still have enough players, enough talent that we can definitely do damage to a extremely beat up defense in the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I agree. 2 good things are supposed to come out of this are that Brian Robinson's going to get some carries, I believe. That we've activated as well Tyler Larson, so he may be playing under center instead of Nick Martin. So that gives a bit of continuity from someone who's been with Ron and the staff from Carolina, understands the play calls, understands the audibles, that can control the line as well, which helps Carson out. Yes, we're missing Dotson, which is a massive shame. He's on for Rookie of the Year, so 4 touchdowns in 4 games. it's going to be a struggle to replace him. But Cam Sims and Ziami Brown have to step up and show something and show why they're on this team. I don't think Cam Sims has never let us down as a big target red zone threat. Always seems to come up with a play. We just have to keep Henry quiet. Not stop him, but just keep him quiet.
Yeah, word is that Brian Robinson will get some touches this game. Probably going to get about 20 total snaps, and maybe 8 to 10 touches. It'd just be nice just to see him out there. What he went through, his recovery is nothing short than a miracle. I mean, to get shot twice and play within a month and a half, I mean, how crazy is that? And to be shot in the knee and not have any structural damage whatsoever, it's 1 in a billion. I mean, no bone, no major ligaments, no nothing. That's just nuts. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, he's got to have someone watching over him for sure. But it'll be great to see him out there. He looks ready. I've seen his press conference this week. I watched that, and I'm looking forward to seeing him make his debut. We also forget in here that we're going to get Cole Turner back as well. He's going to go irrespective of whether Logan Thomas can or can't. So we have a big body red zone catching threat on the outside who can play. So
it'd be nice to see him get some work too. I think he's been put on the back burner a little bit because of the emergence from Armani Rogers, but we haven't really seen anything from him since week 1. So let's see what our 5th round draft pick can do. Get him some touches, and let's go out here and get this motherfucking win.
Well, we have to win. I can't do another misery Monday.
Yeah, it's a code red. It's code red.
It is indeed.
It
is indeed.
Well, Scott, thank you for joining on this broadcast, our betting broadcast. It's fun just shooting the shit, talking some picks, and talking a little bit different than just our team. Even though we love talking about the Washington Commanders, talking about the whole NFL is fun as well. And let's go make some money.
Let's hope so.
All right, buddy. Well, I'm sure I will talk to you in the our little group chat that we have. And until next week, we'll see y'all later.